This is how our spending went last week for me and my partner. We do not share bank accounts and we budget by paycheck. Let's just start with June 27th. So we brought in his rollover of 4,369, my rollover of 5,057, and then the apartment safety deposit from our last apartment where we lived before. That's 1150. Oh, sorry for the sniffles. So that's what we're budgeting this pay period. We are trying not to use any paychecks. And then I paid the security system for $57. This is actually less than budgeted, so I think I got a credit for referring my my neighbors to this security company. I'm not 100% sure, and the statement doesn't say why my bill was $57. It just says that was my bill. So yeah, I'm not going to argue with it, but yeah, just something to keep in mind. That might change because they originally told me that my bill would be $101. So 57 feels great, but I don't know why that is exactly. I should probably call them. Maybe later. Okay, and then on Saturday, Win went to Family Dollar for $20. I don't know what he got. And he pulled out $50 for miscellaneous spending. That's what he pulls out in cash. I don't track what he spends that money on. I just track the transactions in his actual checking account. So that was an ATM withdrawal of $50. Our ATM, the ATM with our local bank, lets us take out money in $10 increments, which is nice. So that was the actual withdrawal. And then he also withdrew $20 for adventures. And that is the money that the boys can earn for their allowance. His kids can earn for their allowance. And if they don't earn everything, if they don't earn the whole amount, the rest goes towards doing fun things with them. And then I brought in $3,153 from our house maintenance fund, which is just about empty now. Makes me very sad, and we're gonna have to rebuild it, but it's doing its job. And 3,000 of that went towards the basement remodel. And then I stuffed $485 in my variable spending categories, and then snacky snacks for $6 and my car wash membership for $18. I'm gonna have to change the due date next month because I thought it was going to be charged on the 29th, but apparently they charged on the 28th. So I'd rather budget early than budget late. So next month I'm going to plan for the 28th. And then Win spent $1 on a game. Don't know what that was. And then we spent $153 on something for our upstairs tenants. That was a problem with the connection of their dryer. And then I paid for a snacky snack for $1. Don't know what that was. So the pink is my checking account transactions, well, and credit card transactions, really. But I do pay off my credit cards at least once a month so that I don't have to pay interest. So this is my checking account transaction. However, this was not for me. So I know that for sure because I haven't had any snacky snacks this week. And then paper towels, that was $20. Well, it went $20 over the bulk spending category, if I remember correctly. And then, what is this? Park and Fun? Oh, this was parking at work. My job does not have free parking. I work downtown, So if I want to drive to work, I have to park a couple blocks away and pay $15. Not fun. But then I also had some shenanigans with my friend for her birthday. So this was me going over budget in my personal spending by $35. And y'all, I went way over in personal spending. I went absolutely nuts this week. And these aren't even all the transactions because I only record the transactions that have cleared my account, not the ones that are pending. So this weekend, y'all, next week is going to be absolutely nuts. I've spent so much money. But yeah, so that was that. And then on the 30th, Snacky Snacks for $15. And then Bugs for $76. So we have garbage cans, like our garbage cans that go to the alley. Those are outside our garage, like right in front of our garage, which is about maybe 6 or 7 feet from our back door. So every time we open our back door, flies come in the house. It's atrocious. It's disgusting. I hate it so much. It's been getting hotter outside, which makes the flies bolder. So we got a bug zapper, which is like an electric little thing that like zaps bugs that fly into the vicinity. And we also got actual fly paper. So the fly paper is for inside the house and the bug zapper is for outside. So that'll be on our back porch so that hopefully it'll get all the flies before they come in the house. And then the fly paper we have right inside the back door. So that should get the flies that come in. But y'all, as soon as it hit 90 degrees, the flies were just outrageous. It's like a cloud of them around the garbage cans, and like they try to work their way in the house. And we've been killing them, but it's a lot. It's a lot, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. So that's one of the struggles of our new place. And it's not a terribly expensive fix, but I'm not a fan. And then on the first, when paid for the kids' health insurance, that was $103. And then I bought a new phone for $12.82. Well, this was the new phone and a phone case and a screen protector. And I know that was a lot. But hi, kitty. I don't know if you can hear him, but my cat has decided he's going to be vocal. But yeah, so this was phone, screen protector, and case for $12.82. I've realized that I really need to start saving for new phones because I get a new phone pretty much every 2 years, which is not ideal, but what ends up happening is they get dropped one too many times and then they start bugging out after 4 years. But wins will be like, we alternate basically. So we happened to both break our phones at the same time. So, but one is more broken than the other. So one phone is getting fixed, the other phone is getting replaced. So one phone has been replaced at this point, and then the other phone is getting fixed this weekend. So that'll probably be around, I think it's like $400 for a new screen. And that's just what that's going to be. But I still need to go do that. And then Netflix came out for $20 and YouTube for $26. On the 2nd, I paid for Fabulous. That's an app that helps me and Win with our ADHD, and Home Depot credit card payment for $47. Now, this Home Depot payment, I'm real irritated about it because I thought I was paying this on time, but I got a late fee. I got a late fee. So you are going to see, you're going to see a late fee probably on today, on Friday. Y'all, so irritated. I'm so irritated by it. I didn't realize it in time to do transactions. I just like the charge for the minimum payment like cleared my account. But yeah, there's a late fee because I set up autopay and it came out of my account on time, but did not reach them on time. Tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why. Okay, I'm irritated. But so what I'm gonna do, and what I did, because I noticed that today when I checked my accounts. Hi, Kitty. What I did was I changed autopay so that instead of coming out on the due date, it's gonna come out the week before. So then it won't be an issue. Like the payment will be completely clear before the due date. Y'all be careful with these due dates because these banks be playing. This is why I only deal with cleared charges, because stuff be pending sometimes and it's real annoying. And sometimes you get a late fee and I hate it for me. But then on the 3rd, there are more snacky snacks. Now, Win did get his savings account interest. However, we're trying not to use that because if we get ahead enough, then we can do the whole month's budget with money that we already have, which is our goal. We really want to be a month ahead. Ideally, what I would really like to do would be to get away from paycheck budgeting, because paycheck budgeting, while I love it, it does add extra steps. What I would really love to do is us to both be firmly a month ahead, and then we bring in all the money in the beginning of the month. So all the money would come into the budget on the 1st, and then we would roll over on the 15th so that we would have money for the rest of the time. That's what I would really love to do. That's what I want to do. But we shall see how that goes. I'm not 100% confident in our ability to stay a month ahead at this point, because we were a month ahead last year, but then we ended up using a couple of the paychecks, and that being ahead part disappeared. So we are going to stay paycheck budgeters, at least for now. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I would eventually like to do calendar budgeting, because that would make things a little less complicated. But yeah, so that's that. And then we move on to, wait, what? Where is the, I put them out of order by accident. My bad. Okay, so the variable revolving envelopes. These are not actual envelopes. This is just a spreadsheet that I use to track my spending in what I call the variable or revolving categories. So first is groceries. Started with $7, added $60, spent $59, so there's $8 left. Bulk buys, started with $16, added $70, spent $52, so there's $34 left. These are both technically groceries. However, I split them up so that I could make sure that I try to like build up the bulk category, because that tends to be higher expenditures like in one category just randomly. So I do want to eventually build this up. But groceries have been kind of struggling lately. Like in the summer it's worse because the kids are out of school, so they're just eat, snack all day. But hopefully we can start to build these back up again. And then transportation started with $215, added $30, spent $33, so there's $212. I did fill my gas tank up in my car. For health, started with 202, added 150, spent 42, so there's 310. And this was Wynn's prescriptions. Well, some of them anyway. And then home shopping, started with 4, spent 130. So I added 30 originally. That was the budgeted amount. And then I added another 100. Because that's how much I went over budget, essentially. So there's 4 left. And then birthdays, started with 39, added 5, spent 31. Because I had a lot of fun with my friend for her birthday. It was fantastic. But there's 13 left in birthdays. And this is another thing that's going to have to be addressed at some point. Basically, I'm going to change how birthdays go, like what the plan is, because I was originally only planning to buy birthday presents for 2 people. It was going to be one of my good friends, and then Wynn's twin sister. Wynn's twin sister, however, moved out of state, and sending her birthday gifts seems kind of I don't know. I'm not a fan of sending people birthday gifts like in the mail or something. I'm not a fan of that. I would much rather like do something with them. So I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. But one of my other really good friends just had her birthday, and it was a lot of fun. But I did spend a bit of money, and it is what it is. And then clothing started with 13, added 25, so there's 38. Shoes started with 279, and that's what's left. I didn't spend any. Pet care started with 45, added 15, so there's 60. Personal, this is where I went rowdy, y'all. Started with 0, added 80, but I spent $13.97, so I had to add an additional $13.17 to make up the difference. So there's 0 left in personal. And then Alphaba started with 236, added 20, so there's 256. Now, I've already spent more money in personal. Don't judge me, you're not my real mom. There's gonna have to be some adjustments made. There's just gonna be. I need to start saving for the next phone because I have to recognize my patterns and know that I'm not gonna want a bottom of the line phone. I'm just not. And I can totally swing it. So I'm gonna. Okay, so for the budget, let's see what this did to us. This is the paycheck from June 27th to July 10th of this year. And then again, for inflow, we did not use either of our paychecks. But other income, we did bring in that $1,150 that was the apartment security deposit refund. And then from savings, $3,153 instead of the $4,000 that was budgeted. And then rollover, we roll over $9,426 instead of the $8,584 that was budgeted. But I had been very conservative when I estimated this rollover on purpose so that we wouldn't be worse off than I planned. Investments, nothing. That's not where we are right now. And then for his spending, kid bills came out to $103. $183 was budgeted, but the kids just finished their therapy sessions. They just finished those recently, but they're supposed to start with individual therapy specific to their needs. I'm not going to talk about exactly what those needs are, but they do have specific needs that they need help with. I don't know, and Wynn doesn't know when that's going to start or how much those copays are going to be, or if they're going to be the same copays at all. We don't know yet. So I'm still going to budget for the same amount, but just keep in mind, this is a guesstimate, y'all. It's a guesstimate. Because this copay was billed directly to Wynn. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. And none of these other things came out, but we did have Adventure for that 20 that was budgeted, didn't go over in that, and then 71 instead of 50 for miscellaneous. So that is a total of 194 that Wynn spent this week, leaving us with 13,535. Now, he is not saving right now. It is summer. He is underemployed, essentially. He's a substitute teacher, does not get paid during the summer unless he picks up a part-time job. He struggles finding part-time jobs in the summer because there's not a lot of seasonal work, especially that he can do considering he doesn't have a car. He doesn't drive. So it's kind of a struggle for him. He did start work already, but it's part-time and we're just surviving. We're not saving right now. And then we get to my spending. So for dining out, 29 of the 30 budgeted. Y'all, we always struggle with this. I know it's Delulu. I know it's not accurate. It's kind of a pipe dream. But we set this goal really low so that we can see what we're taking from. We can see what goals we are giving up on in order to pay for this. And then YouTube was 26 is budgeted, Netflix 20 is budgeted, Fabulous 2 is budgeted, Home Depot card 47 is budgeted, security system 57 instead of the 101 that was budgeted. I don't know why it's that low, but I'm not fighting it. Car wash 18 is budgeted. Haven't sent any extra to debt. Variable expenses 1,902, which is a total of 2,101 out of the 4,612 budgeted. That leaves us with 11,434. Now we go to my saving. I'm not saving anything right now. I'm on the same page with Wynn. We don't have our money in the same accounts, but we do stay on the same page. So I'm not saving right now. So we go to saving spent. House maintenance, we spent 3,153 out of the 4,000 that was budgeted. So that leaves us with 8,281 to make it through the next week. Now, as I said, I have already spent more money. It's just transactions are pending right now. Depending on what I end up rolling over, I might end up using, bringing in some more money into the budget. I should be okay. My real goal is if I can manage to make it through the second pay period without using any what's the word I'm looking for? Not a hard word, but just my brain just like short-circuited. I want to make it through this pay period and next pay period without using any paycheck. I'd really love to do that. I know I'm spending a lot right now, but if I can manage that, then I would effectively be a month ahead. And then we can get more flexible with things. Now, will I stay a month ahead? I don't know, because I do still need to start the debt pay down journey again. I do need to start that soon. The real focus is going to start happening after the summer school break is over. But I do plan on putting at least a little bit extra towards debt in the meantime. I really want to get a month ahead. I really do. And I know some people like to save up for their month ahead, like save per like bill or per category to get a month ahead. I just like to pause savings and use that as an opportunity to rack up money so that I can do a monthly budget without any paychecks. And then that is my month ahead. Because then after that, I start budgeting paychecks that I already have, and I can do that for the whole month. That is my goal. But I don't know, y'all. What do you think? Do you save for new phones? And do you think it's stupid that I am? I kind of feel like it's irresponsible, but I also know myself and know that both I and Win are both really rough on cell phones, and we pretty much run our whole lives from our cell phones. So we need good ones, and we end up like demolishing at least one phone every 4 years between the two of us. Well, between the two of us, it's like every 2 years. But yeah, that's kind of our struggle right now. That and the house, of course, because the house, we're going to be spending at least another, I think, $7,000 maybe. Yo, it's a struggle. My bank account is just going just down. But it technically we can make it. Technically we can handle it. We should be having more money coming in. Again, I know I've said this before, but Wynn's twin sister did offer to help us with the with our down payment. Well, not our down payment, but with closing costs. But she didn't sell her condo in time, so she is still planning to give us that amount of money, and we shall see how that goes. But even if she doesn't, as soon as the summer is over, we're going to make a plan to tackle everything and get back on track with our finances. But like right now, we're just kind of treading water and trying to get the house ready, so that, well, the basement in particular ready, so that we can get tenants in the basement and not pay so much for the mortgage. We really need the rental income. So if you stayed here, if you made it this far, I love you. I appreciate you. Never forget that you deserve financial stability, and I hope you have a great day on purpose. Bye.